Welcome to Wednesday Night is Overbooked. We got a full complement here tonight. We are all here. We're ready to talk some pro wrestling. I am your host, Joker Voice, and to my stage right, the man who hope has been restored, if ever so briefly. That is the lovely, the talented, the incredibly bad takes, Mr. LeftEyeEgo with that lovely mug. That is quite a lovely mug, sir. I have mine as well. How are you,
new
sir?
haircut too, by the way. Here's a new haircut.
Oh yeah, definitely. Had to make sure the haircut was fresh. I was looking homeless, so yeah, I'm back at it. I am ready to talk some wrestling. I am ready to go. Let's do it, guys.
Alrighty, and right down here we have our legal expert in the hotbed of professional wrestling. That is the state of Florida. Mr. Duke Devil 95, Bradley Burnett. How are you, sir?
I was not expecting to be reading pleadings tonight when I got home from work reading pleadings, but apparently that's what I've done, and I'll be sending you my bill.
Oh, good. Thank you. Good. Okay. And right below me, the Matt of 1,000 Holes, the unbearable 73, hailing from, as he calls it, the anus of the United States. How are you, sir?
Another week, no hospitalization. Always chatting good.
Alrighty. And we have a goal, folks. Thank you for everyone who are here right now in the chat. We have a goal of at least double-digit likes. So hit that like button, share the stream out with your friends and all the socials. And of course, all our links are down below in the description. So if you don't mind,
I'd say you better subscribe or we'll bash in some skulls, right?
thank you, Harley. So starting off the show with if you saw Monday Night Raw, there's a later match between Kairi Sane and Liv Morgan. The match really never got started as a standard single leg takedown. Liv has taken this bump thousands of times, just bracing herself, and something happens to her right shoulder. She immediately rolls out of the ring and hoping for the best possible. Well, this morning, we heard that she would be out at least 3 months. That takes her out of Evolution. That takes her out of SummerSlam. Then, just a few hours ago, this is from Wrestle Talk, according to PW Insider, she is going to require surgery. This is basically the worst case scenario. She's going to be out at least 6 months. We will probably not see Liv Morgan again until the Royal Rumble next year. Ego, you're the medical guy. You're the medical guy here. How is this? How is this the worst case scenario?
Okay, so when we're talking dislocations, we're either talking. Usually, we're talking a close reduction. That's the kind you see in movies where they dislocate it and it's manually put back into place. Usually, a doctor gives you a numbing shot, they reset it in 30 minutes, you're done, and then the recovery is like 12 weeks. I actually didn't have. I had it going 16 weeks before this announcement, but I mean, the fact that they have to put in surgery means like it's liable to pop back out again. The fact that the left shoulder was the last time, this is the right shoulder. The amount of pain that she had when she hit the deck, she rolled out and couldn't stand up. I knew it was bad then. So when I heard like, hey, estimate 3 or 4 weeks, like, no. For someone that's dislocated something before on the other side, you know it's dislocated. I'm not saying the pain is going to be tolerable, but you're just like, okay, I know I separated. This is over. I have them set. I'll be good in like 3 months. The fact that it's going to be surgery is going to add maybe another month to. I mean, you said Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble will be pushing it for me with surgery on a shoulder. I got maybe WrestleMania, if that, for me, just because of the severity of this. Again, this isn't something you just manually put it back in place and you just immobilize it for 12 to 16 weeks. Surgery is going to be much longer. We've got the initial surgery. There's recovery time. There's assuming there's no infections post-surgery. There's going to have to be extensive rehab, and then ring rust is going to set in. Like I don't see her getting back in the ring, honestly, until at this point, WrestleMania for me. It's like this is the worst case scenario.
Maybe.
Chamber, right? Because the Chamber's between. Yeah, honestly, I think Chamber would be much easier because she may not have to go one-on-one. It'll be more collaborative in that regard. I would think that'd be the safer mode of recovery and getting over the ring rust of being back. I wouldn't put her immediately back in WrestleMania. Elimination Chamber will be the best case scenario for best position to put her in based on the severity of this injury and the fact that it's the right shoulder. So, I mean, they say that, hey, if you've separated it before, chances are you might separate it again. So you're going to have to be extra cautious, and Survivor in Elimination Chamber is going to be a collaborative effort and better for her to be able to survive without hurting the shoulder again.
Okay. So before we go into the impact that this injury has, Brad, your initial thoughts when you heard all this?
Honestly, I saw what happened and I was very surprised. Maybe it's just me. I didn't think it looked that bad.
No.
So,
No.
I mean, this is really a freak injury. I could see that she hit awkwardly, but the way she reacted, I mean, you knew instantly they're going to throw up the X right away. I mean, she went out and everything stopped. It's just so weird how such a normal maneuver, just a normal, over toe hold, they take down.
Single leg
I mean,
takedown.
Single leg, yeah.
It's not exactly a single leg takedown.
But I think the main thing is the fact that she took down the right leg. So, I mean, if you're doing that and you're dragging it down, like the emphasis is going to be to make yourself catch yourself on the right arm, which is why the right shoulder lead to me.
So this is a takedown that Kyrie has done hundreds of times.
Mm-hmm.
This is
how Liv landed. I watched it again.
Mm-hmm.
This is a standard go to the mat that Liv thousands of times.
I did high school wrestling, so I'll explain what I saw.
Okay.
In high school wrestling, you learn how you have to learn, and football, but football is no different too, by the way. That you have to learn how to fall without hurting your arm and leg. Okay, and one exercise you do is you run in place, you jump as high as you can in the air, then you spread eagle and land on your chest and stomach, and you do that for about a solid 2-3 minutes. And when you first do it, it feels like you're going to die, but after about a couple weeks, you get used to it, right? And there's a name for it, I don't remember, right? So when you're landing prone, if you walk and watch what Liv does, the reason you do it is you don't want your elbows on in front of you, driving the pressure up into your shoulders. You want to spread out and slap the ground to break your fall. Okay.
And also you disperse it, right?
Yeah. Number one is don't land face first because you'll
Right.
break your nose. I've seen that injury before. Number two is spread eagle, distribute your weight, slap the ground, get some recoil, and eventually you get to be able to just roll through it. Now this looks more like what the pro wrestling dragon screw laid down, where she flipped her over there. Because a single leg takedown is more like where you shoot in, you grab one leg, you kind of stand up bent over, and then either you push them onto their back or you pull them onto their front. You don't sort of flip them when you do it, right? But that's not the point. Is Kyrie didn't do anything wrong.
No.
If you look at the way Liv landed, her arm and her elbows are more under her like this than spread like this. Okay, and when you drive that force for a man alone, that's a lot of force. For a woman's body, it's going to be even more impact because they have less to take it. So I would suggest for Liv to doing rehab. Maybe Shawn Michaels over and say, look, learn how to start doing exercise I'm talking about from pro wrestling. If you're a wrestler or a football player, you know the exercise I'm talking about. Maybe learn to take that type of face first fall without driving your elbows into your shoulders.
Gotcha. Okay, so as far as the impact of this injury here, this is a pretty significant. Liv is pretty much an integral part of the storytelling on Monday Night Raw. From what I have heard, pretty much most of the Evolution card has been scrapped. And they're starting from scratch again.
Mm.
Now Liv is one half of the tag team champions. This is really an easy fix because they've done it with Sonya Deville and they did it with Jade as well. They would with Sonya. They just inserted Piper Niven to become the co-tag champions. With Jade, obviously, Naomi, you just insert Roxanne into here. She's already kind of a part of in the Judgment Day story. It makes sense. They have a tentative alliance, whatever, because they're probably just going to drop the titles to Nikki and Brie at Evolution, and maybe they can just retire the women's tag team championship after that. But yeah, so she was challenging Io, so that's now gone. She has, again, there's so many things that Liv is involved in that now have to be restructured. Actually, I'll go with Matt first. Just the impact of what Liv Morgan does for at least on Raw.
Well, I mean, she's the de facto leader of the Judgment Day for all practical purposes. Correct. And that faction was going to a big storyline where they were either going to split again or break up or whatever was going to happen, with Balor probably coming out, Roxanne maybe, whoever or whatever. Would have been interesting if Liv was around, if they transformed into a female faction for a while, with some sort of, and then eventually have Roxanne and Liv be best friends and break up, type of thing. But as far as you already mentioned the ramifications with title runs and whatever, the only good thing, and I would talk behind the scenes about this, sometimes, I mean, Liv is involved. Liv is in a good place for a character, but sometimes when you have an unintentional break, like a few months away or whatever, it can let you reset some, like, I don't want to say I was getting tired of Liv Morgan because she's entertaining, but I was getting tired of like the same storyline repeating for her type of thing. And this could give a reset to let her blend plop in the middle of a new storyline, so that's the potential good out of it. But short term, like you said, it wrecks Evolution, and it messes up any Judgment Day storylines that are going on right now.
Brad, thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with the point about, pardon me, screwing up Judgment Day. I think it probably does create a possible opening for Roxanne since they had started inserting her. But then the question also becomes, what happens with Dom? I mean, there was, I think we had talked before that potentially you could see a slight face change to him and Liv. So maybe, maybe Finn starts pushing it more. He was the one stirring the pot, bringing in Roxanne, and then he pushes out Dom. But at the same time, Carlito's gone. So is he recruiting someone else? I could see this affecting Dom's storyline and him almost going maybe anti-hero.
What's up, Kai? One of our benches here.
I thought we were friends, Kai. I thought we were friends.
Oh, he's a friend of the channel. That's why he's a wrench. Which, by the way, Kai, just for you, and so glad you're back. Mark that down. That's right. All right, Ego, your other thoughts on the impact of what losing Liv Morgan does?
Man, she improved her ring work to me so much over the last year. It's gonna suck to see her out of commission. I know it's one of the things like you can kind of slide someone else in there. Like you could have Roxanne Perez take over, and that could facilitate a further break in the Judgment Day. It sucks. So that really slows down the momentum she's built up since, to me, Elimination Chamber, of being like, yo, she can take the hit. She's got the aura. I think that to me, this is what she was missing when she was women's champ. Like this to me would more justify her. Again, that's just me because maybe I saw it late. Fine. I'm just saying for me, like, had I known this was her, then I'd be like, hey, she can hold on to the strap a little bit longer. But yeah, it's unfortunately sucks. It's just going to be a lot of lateral moves to get us back to this point over the next like 6 months. It really sucks.
And I'll say this. Hang on, Matt. And I'll say this. I mean, again, with absence can come opportunity, because Liv was really the MVP of the women's division of Raw for the last year, like the last year and a half, almost.
She said
now everyone's got to step their game up. Matt, you want to say something?
So I was talking about the ramifications for Dom's character. What I would do with him is have this take him to a very dark place, like have him start doing brutal things to people. Like go real dark with Dom, like so he's upset, like make that he and Liv have a real relationship, really bonded or whatever, and just take him to a dark place. Because his heelness, Dom works as a heel, and he needs more a heel. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Eventually, they're gonna face turn him, but he's not dark enough. Like the more heel they make him, the more the face turn will pay off, and this could be used to make him like even better than the heel that he's been. Gotcha.
And Eric is like, why couldn't they book her like this when she was champion? Because when she was champ for most of that run, Rio was out and EO was doing tag team stuff. So, pardon me. So there wasn't a lot of top tier talent around her to make this thing going. Next year, and then Eric also says, next year has to be the year for Liv to win the Rumble or the Chamber. Possibly. I mean, she's been in every Chamber match since they started. So maybe this time she'll be the bride instead of a bridesmaid. Okay. Yeah. So, and I think I can speak for all of us here when I say that we here at Wednesday night is overbooked. Wish Liv Morgan a speedy recovery because you will be missed. WWE TV is better with Liv Morgan on it.
Agreed.
Okay, so Brad, I asked you to look into something. I didn't have any links or anything, but the AEW and the AEW champion are being sued?
Yeah.
Oh.
So this apparently relates to, I forget what event it was, but it was in Detroit.
Okay.
What was the date? It was May 10th, 2023. So I don't know what event they had going on there. It was a cage match not cage match. It looked like Hell in a Cell. It wasn't a cage match. Between Moxley and Kenny Omega. Okay. And during part of it, they went outside and Mox grabbed a screwdriver from a guy on the side of the ring. And I guess at some point he shoved him. Well, now that guy is suing him for all sorts of injuries. Like cervical fusion surgery, shoulder surgery, back surgery, radiculopathy. That's, nerve tingling wherever. So he's alleging basically that he got injured because of Mox shoving him. So he's suing Mox and he's suing AEW. And it's how many counts? 6-count complaint. 6-count complaint. So this is basically throwing the kitchen sink at it to not miss anything.
And hoping something sticks.
Yeah. Because, for instance, he charges him with he charges Moxley with general negligence and gross negligence. That's a little overkill, but it's making sure you touch every base in case someone tries to throw you out. Gotcha. And there's a whole bunch of other stuff, civil assault and battery. That's basically hitting somebody and causing damage. And this is all civil stuff. So this is all purely for monetary purposes. Gotcha. AEW is also being sued for basically negligently hiring Mox. One of the things they noticed, like this guy has a history of, not following the rules, getting in trouble with management. So clearly they weren't exercising the control over him that they should have been. And of course, premises liability is if you run the place and someone gets injured there because of one of your employees, you're liable. Respondeat superior, that's a Latin phrase. Basically, vicarious liability, you're responsible for the actions of your employees. So they're throwing everything at it to see what sticks. don't hold your breath that this will ever go to trial. This would be a settlement, if anything.
Gotcha. Okay, Ego, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna get settled for these people. It's like a nuisance fee for AEW. This is why certain people I know that I can't have money because I would be brutal. I'd give you shut the fuck up money, and I'd let people know, like, hey, like, I'm not signing an NDA. I'm gonna give this money and shut the fuck up. And I'm gonna tell everyone I gave you money to shut the fuck up. Like, I just know that that's part of me if I had that amount of money. So I know it's gonna be a nuisance fee. And it's honestly the way you're gonna have to treat it. They're gonna have to be smarter about, I guess, who they put in these positions in terms of like the situation with John Moxley and taking the screwdriver from the guy and pushing him. It's just a nuisance fee to me. It sucks because I really shouldn't have any liability, but because we live in a litigious society, people take advantage of the system. So nuisance fee to me.
Matt, thoughts?
So this is an AEW beach break in early May. There was a big cage event at the end of that between the Death Riders and all the people opposing the Death Riders, basically, and it was like a wild brawl, right? Now, as far as the thing goes, it's bullshit, basically. This is a lawsuit for the lawsuit's purposes, because if anyone who ever worked behind the scenes at a wrestling event knows, you walk in and you sign about 17 waivers, okay? Now, I was never a cameraman. I basically prepared beverages for the wrestlers, what in those beverages, I won't say, but
Beer.
And other stuff. But they have a lounge back seat, and I was an amateur bartender, so I was like, "Oh man, you can make drinks for them, whatever." And you sign, and they say, "Look, there may be a brawl near you, like a kayfabe, whatever. It'll be explained what's going to happen, so you're not surprised by it. But sometime in the middle of that stuff, sometimes they grab you or whatever. They won't really hurt you, but they may shove you into a wall or throw on a couch or whatever. You got to explain to what's happening. You sign up, and if you don't sign the waiver to agree to that, then you don't get anywhere near the wrestlers. Because the storyline can break up anywhere, right?
I have a question, sir.
Yeah.
But I do have one question. You said you were an amateur bartender. Were you training to make the pros? I mean, like me?
Well, no. When I went to my fraternity, I was taught how to basically make a bunch of mixed drinks. Plus, I'm Italian.
Okay.
You know how to make a bunch of mixed drinks. So
okay.
I would make a little money on the side at fraternities and small events, doing a little bit of bar. It wasn't like a weekly. It was just I made like maybe $200 a month on the side for a year or two,
Gotcha.
Also, amateur keeps you Olympic eligible.
Yeah.
Right.
Bartending should be an Olympic sport.
It should be. I watch that.
Well, there's bartending and then there's mixology.
Mixology.
Back to
Two categories.
Yeah.
Back to our point.
Don't come to my bar asking for something muddled or mixed or layered. That shit ain't happening.
There are legit.
Fuck yourself.
Like there are legit cases of wrestlers, like the New Jack incident with what's his face, where wrestlers go off on people they shouldn't go off on, and but this is not one of them. This is a guy who was a cameraman. Which when you're a cameraman, you are told you may be involved in the actual match. Told, like there's no ambiguity about it. They try to get cameramen who have been pro wrestlers before, so they know how to do stuff. But this guy, maybe because this guy wasn't one of them. But this is going to get settled for some sort of nuisance fee, no admission of guilt, and this guy will never work in the wrestling industry again.
Hello, Mr. Jacob Ironside, the man who made the wonderful logo for Wednesday Night is Overbooked, does some of my thumbnails for my videos. Again, does not get enough love. If you are a fan of classic TV, classic films, Jacob Ironside is the channel you need to watch. Ego, do you mind dropping his?
You got it.
Link
Say
in the
less.
chat there?
Actually, I believe this guy was the one who was holding the screwdriver that Mox was going to use. And have you guys seen the actual shove?
Yeah, I saw the shove.
I mean, this is what the guy is alleging. I mean, this is the fragile plaintiff. I mean, right. He's not really like he's a bulky dude, and he basically just fell on the side of his ass.
Well, the problem is when it goes to pretrial and all that, they're going to put all these documents he signed just to be allowed near the wrestler. Okay, and then they're going to have people come out and say we trained this guy to be a cameraman in a wrestling match.
It won't even get to that stage. You won't even get to a pretrial. There'll be just motion practice. But the other thing is they will scrub social media. A lot of people get caught these days because they forget that, oh, I'm claiming an injury, and then they go off on vacation and don't think about, oh, no one's going to check my Facebook. Are you kidding? That's exactly what we do. When we get all these claims, if it's a personal injury claim, of course someone's going to be seeing what you do. Are you posting anything like, I can't walk at all? And next thing you know, you're climbing up, the side of Everest. I mean,
Well,
that's
wrong.
That's the type of thing.
Darby B. Allen.
Yeah. Was there a claim of civil assault in the lawsuit or just injury?
Yeah, it was assault and battery. That was also there.
Well, then didn't necessarily need injury for that.
Yeah, he is claiming all sorts of surgery injuries.
Oh, that but like a civil assault itself would just be hitting someone, so it's not.
Well, it's actually assault and battery, and I don't know how it is in Michigan. Assault is a separate crime from battery. Battery is the actual physical touching.
Yeah.
Assault is the threat of touching, at least in my state.
Okay, so continuing with AEW here, their big show, All In, is just around the corner, July 12th, I believe, in Dallas at Globe Life Field. They have a bit of a dilemma as to what's going to be the main event. Now, I know what I would do if I was running that show. But they've had some main event issues, and I've even heard that at Double or Nothing, when the main event there, which was the finals of the Owen Hart Classic between Ospreay and Hangman, it was literally up until like an hour before that match started. They didn't know who was going over.
So
this sounds like classic Vince McMahon.
And I heard that Will was lobbying for Hangman. Hangman was lobbying for Will. If it's just me, this is not a good sign if you want the Death Riders story to end going into All In. Now, we do have three marquee matches for AEW.
Well, no, two marquee matches and one UGG.
Well, we have for the AEW Women's World Championship, which only the Women's World Championship is on the line. We have the AEW Women's Champion, Timeless Toni Storm, versus the TBS Champion, Mercedes Moné. Also, for the AEW World Championship, AEW World Champion Jon Moxley puts the belt, which we haven't seen since October, puts his title on the line against Hangman Adam Page. Or the winner take all for the newly created AEW Unified Championship. And this will unify the Continental Championship, which is held by Kazuchika Okada, and the International Championship held by Kenny Omega. Now, these belts are considered mid-tier titles. From what I've heard, once they unify them, this next title is going to be exalted as almost a second top championship. And I'm just going to add this in here, showing how much of the money mark Tony Khan is. There's the medallion, and then there's two side plates on the strap. The two smallest side plates, one has an image of Kenny Omega's one-winged angel finisher. The other one is the Kazuchika Okada Rainmaker finisher, because Tony wants to pay homage to the history and the feud and the war between Kenny Omega and Kazuchika Okada back in their days in New Japan Pro Wrestling. So this is just...
My understanding is Tony Khan is a student of wrestling history, though, right?
He is a wrestling geek. He is a wrestling geek.
He knows he's a wrestling geek, but his implementation is where he fails.
Okay, so I'm going to go with Ego first. Now, of these three, the matches, Okada, Omega, Moxley and Page, Mercedes and Tony, what should main event, but what most likely will main event?
All right, so I will do this. This match takes place in my home city of my home state. All right, I know that there is a huge Korean population in Arlington, larger than you expect. Korean. I would go with the one with with Kenny Omega then to headline, because it's going to be in Arlington. There's a huge population there. I mean, I would like to go on. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So you see this match as the one that will be the main event?
Yeah, I think once they do the demographics of where I live, they're going to find there's a higher population than you would think for Arlington, Texas. And I think that's what they're going to go with, even though Okada's Japanese, right?
Yep.
Yes.
They're probably, you're going to like to say Korean, Japanese. What's the difference? Even though there's a huge difference and a lot of history there. I think they're going to make this one the main one just based on demographics. I would like to see Mercedes Moné and Timeless Tony Storm. I think that'd be a decent match, even though I know that's what I would like. I will give Timeless Tony Storm credit for what she did with Blake Monroe, that whole feud. That's what I would like, just because I like Timeless Tony Storm was decent in that. But I mean, I think that it's going to be the Okada match, honestly.
Okay. Brad, what match do you think will main event, and what match should main event?
Well, first off, when you showed Mox and Hangman, I looked at it real quick and I thought, is that old? I mean, younger Kenny Omega? For a second there, I looked at it. No, I glanced up like, that looked like young Kenny Omega there. Right. Just based on history, I mean, it should be Omega and Okada.
So,
I mean,
so you think this match should be the main event?
I think it should for historical purposes. Now, if you, like you say, they're going to try to make this the Uber Championship, then logically you would then put it at the end to make it the spectacular. If this is supposed to go above the World Championship and everything, and I'm lost on AEW belts
on the same level. This is going to be like on the same level. Okay, so think of the AEW World Championship as the WWE Undisputed Championship. This would now
and then the heavyweight. Yeah,
this would be the World Heavyweight Championship.
Okay, so this would basically become what Cody has.
No,
and
this would become what Gunther has.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
mean, I think you'd have to do that just to push the status of the belt.
Okay, so you think this one will main event? What do you think should main event?
Again, you're getting me because
so you think this one should be the main event? Which one do you think will be the main event?
God, Tony Khan isn't smart. And then also I don't watch enough AEW. Okay. So maybe, I don't know, maybe he's thinking Evolution's coming up and he puts the women at the end.
Okay, so you think this one. Alrighty.
He could do that. I mean, if he's thinking about competing with WWE, and let's be honest, WWE's women's matches are being real good right now. You got some real talent in there. And they got Evolution coming up. Maybe he's thinking this is a way to start getting some shine. And plus, I mean, Tony Storm and Sasha Banks.
Mm-hmm. So let me go to Matt. Matt, what match should main event? What match will main event?
So, based on my knowledge of AEW pay-per-views, here's what you're going to get. The fourth to last match is going to be the AEW title with Moxley and Hangman. Then there'll be some third match between that. Then Tony Storm versus Mercedes cannot, or Monet, excuse me, be the second to last match. And then Omega Okada will be the last match. So it's going to be in that order. I almost agree with that for one reason. The fact that that we're getting another top level title at the end of this means that Moxley is going to win his match and the storyline is going to continue. Maybe he'll drop off at the next, All In, not All In Texas. What's after that? Forbidden Door. Maybe he'll drop it at Forbidden Door. Who knows?
Forbidden Door in London.
Yeah,
I think
that's a possibility. And so now the Okada Omega match has a potential to be match of the year candidate. These guys are that good, and they have built towards the storyline. So I don't like them unifying these two titles personally. I like because this is the equivalent of the U.S. and international intercontinental titles, basically before the unification. But whatever. So that's kind of my thoughts on it. The headlining match will be Okada and Omega.
Oh, okay. My take is here. This match is not going to be your main event. And if you're a fan of timeless Tony Storm, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. You just put that title right on the Mercedes. This match should close your show out. The Death Rider story is killing AEW. It is absolutely killing it. Nobody likes it. It is a ratings pit. But because Darby Allin put an AEW flag on the top of Everest, Tony Khan is going to wait to put the belt onto Darby Allin, which means this match is going to be your main event of All In. And it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Hangman All In should end with Hangman Page in Texas, the Cowboy in Texas, holding the AEW title.
There is a swerve. That if you don't watch AEW, there's a swerve here. So everyone's insane the title is in that. No, he's there too, but saying the title is in that briefcase. But the title is not in that briefcase.
No.
There is a contract of some sort in that briefcase. I'm not saying that Moxley's not the real champion, there's some other secret champion or whatever, but Hangman may win this match and have to do a title chase of another sort to whatever's in that belt, in that briefcase. But the point I made before is the reason this is the headlining match. This is not the end of that storyline. This is and the Death Rider are killing, ruin. They drain the life out of everything when they come on, and they shouldn't, because there's a lot of talent in there, an outside faction, but they were supposed to be like the NWO of AEW, and then it turned out to be just another heel faction that no one knows about.
Well, I mean, the one of the big problems is you've got a heel action, and you're doing your second takeover angle in a year.
Yeah.
And the faction didn't grow. It didn't grow. They're never gained.
Well, it appears to have been absorbed by the Elite, because the Young Bucks. What a horrible decision, by the way. I don't want to hijack this with AEW, but so when the Young Bucks left last time, they dropped the titles to I forget who, but it was a nice match. It was a good feel-good storyline, and they shook the guys' hands. Top Flight. They shook their hands and did a face turn at the end of it. Everyone cheered the Bucks for being sportsmanlike, right? Furthermore, Kenny Omega, who's their Bucks' best friend and was part of it, comes back as a face, right? So you think you bring the Bucks back, and Hangman's a face now, right? You bring the Bucks back and make a good guy Elite faction with them now. Follow your storylines. No. All out of nowhere, the Bucks come back as ultra heels again, trying to take over the Death Riders, basically. There's a horrible storytelling here, and they had a good end of the Bucks heel run with Top Flight and shaking hands and putting the belts on them. Private party, yeah. I mean, horrible storytelling.
Well, I mean, Tony Khan's never been he's got money. Storytelling is not his fault.
Well, I'm fairly sure that the Bucks are the ones writing the storyline.
Well, that explains a lot too.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got something brewing now. We're going back to, as the sickos call it, the Fed, and we're a week and a half away from Night of Champions in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
We'll see.
We should get more of a card next week, and we'll talking to the overall predictions. But we got semi-final matches for King and Queen of the Ring starting Friday and the Monday. I'm going to say the men's side, these are tough to pick. These are tough to pick.
They're all faces right now.
Well, yeah. Well, you also have 2 heel champions too.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, just to give an idea of why this is so tough, this was 2 years ago.
Yeah, man.
All 4 of them.
Where have I seen this?
This
I've recently seen this.
This was War Games. This was War Games 2023. Punk's now return. But all 4 of these guys were on the same team. So there's history with all 4 of these guys. So, and we've got some history with the ladies as well. Now, this coming Friday, we have Randy Orton versus Sami Zayn. That's a tough one. I mean, Randy was King of the Ring finalist last year.
Man.
The show's in Saudi. I don't see a Saudi show with Sami Zayn not involved in it somewhere.
Yeah. Right.
Are we doing turns or just going for it?
We are looking at the semis, and
No, I mean, are you doing turns or are we just saying what we're going to say?
I'm just who do you see going over in this match?
Well, unless Cody is going to win the title back off of the shot from this, he's not winning
this match, Matt. This match, Randy and Sammy.
Oh, Sammy
goes over?
No, Sammy. No contest.
Okay, Ego thoughts.
Sammy, I just don't see how he's going to win straight up. I know he's going to win. I just don't see how they're going to do it. That's all.
Okay, Brad.
Sammy.
I also say Sammy. Also on Friday, a bit of a reunion. The former women's tag team champions, the 5 Feet of Fury, Alexa Bliss versus the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka. For just this match, Ego, who goes over?
Wait, Asuka versus who again?
Alexa Bliss.
Man, I want Alexa Bliss to win. I know they're gonna. I think Asuka's gonna win it. I love Alexa Bliss to win it, but I got Asuka.
Okay, Brad.
As much as I would like to see Alexa and just in general see more of Alexa, it's going to be Asuka.
Okay, Matt.
Triple H is not going to make the Vince mistake with Asuka. She can't lose a poor match like this early in her comeback. She's winning this match.
Okay. Yeah. I tend to agree because Alexa also has a storyline going on with Charlotte, and I'm actually thinking this may be a good thing with Charlotte is this losing streak. I like it. Let's keep this up. And maybe she'll then retire and go away forever. Then on Raw, we have Jade Cargill versus Roxanne Perez. Matt, who's going over in this?
They're not letting Jade Cargill anywhere near this next match, so Perez is winning it.
Okay. Brad?
If Jade Cargill had actually any ability, it would be Jade Cargill. I mean, if she actually had legitimate ability, she would just ragdoll Roxanne. But that ain't happening, and no one wants to see Jade Cargill go ahead. No one in this panel wants to see Jade Cargill go ahead at all.
So
I'm just saluting Daniel Bryan
yeah, he's just
or Brian Daniel.
Yes.
so you say Roxanne.
Yeah, for the love of God.
Ego
The winner of this would face who?
would face Asuka.
Oh, ain't no goddamn way. Okay.
The winner of this, the winner of this match faces the winner of the Alexa Asuka match at Night of Champions.
Ain't no way. If Jade wins this, it'll be like watching a goat fuck a coconut. So there's no way I want any part of this. Jade has to lose clean to Roxanne. I know that's the face you'd make if she won right there.
Yeah, but
Brad,
you're
thank you.
going to
That's the
Saudi
face.
Arabia, dude. So don't talk about goats and effing.
Spicy.
Mark that down, Ego. Ego froze again. I think.
The list.
There you are. Oh,
Nope.
there we go. Okay.
That was so brutal of a burn. He's gone again.
Yes.
You overloaded internet connection. So that's what burn.
There he is. Okay. There you are, sir.
All right.
So I'm going to be the odd man. I'm going to be the odd man out. Jade wins this match. Not because I wanted to. Not because I wanted to.
So,
Yep.
so you're saying that Triple H not only has heart problems, he now has he's having strokes.
There's a
I mean-
story. The story on the SmackDown Women's division. Naomi, briefcase, cashing in, becomes champion. Jay challenges at SummerSlam. That's a storyline.
Oh God.
However,
Oh, man.
However, the fact that Liv got injured, I could easily see a Jade Asuka final and Asuka the winning to challenge Io. I could see both scenarios. And the other match, which this guy was so cute. He has hope again. He has hope. It is absolutely
That is so cute.
because Jey Uso got put in the qualifier. He was the mystery. He was the mystery participant, and then Jey won the qualifying match in a completely overbooked, big clusterfuck of a mess, and it was so great. And that's where it's gonna end. Jey Uso versus Cody Rhodes. Matt, thoughts?
Well, Cody is not winning against Sami Zayn. That's for sure. So the question is, does he get weakened by a loss to Jay or to Sami more? You know? And I think Cody's going over for marketing reasons because
Okay, Brad?
I'm going with Jey Uso. Cody doesn't need to go over. Cody can write his own storyline, whatever he wants it to be. The reason I'm saying this is because
Spicy.
this is going to make Jay have a problem. We all kind of agree Sammy's going to to Night of Champions, which means now he's going to have to face his two friends. So that's going to be Jay's storyline. What is he willing to do? Will he go dirty? I mean, it's a possibility. Do we see some of that old, Uso style show up? And if he wins in Saudi Arabia, is there a riot? I don't know.
Ego?
I have it being Jay versus Sammy in the final. So I haven't beaten Cody Rhodes by shenanigans. I win him winning by shenanigans, and it progresses a storyline of what he's willing to do. Is going to be taking on your best friend. So I like that angle. I still see Sammy going completely over, but I have him beating Cody Rhodes to go to the final.
Okay, my take on this. Cody Rhodes is going to Saudi. Jay's not. Sorry, Ego, to dash your hopes and dreams.
Does Jay have a felony?
You don't sound sorry for someone.
I would pay money for, because there's basically 3 bloodline factions right now. There's Romans, Solos, and Jacobs. Have Jacob come out and help Jay, and Jay goes heel with Jacob's team. I would pay money for that.
Jacob's not a heel.
No, but like he's a tweener. He wrestles like a heel, but he's like Gunther. The other side of
Okay,
Gunther.
and right now the only faction is Solo and JC Mateo. Roman's not even involved right now with anything.
Roman hangs over the WWE like the iceberg over the Titanic.
That was actually under, but okay, close enough. Yeah. But
metaphorically, of course.
Right. I could see now. I could see one of 2 scenarios. I think Cody is in there. He's going to the final, because Cody and the Saudi shows is big. The money, very big. The money there. Could we get a Cody Randy Orton? I know that's possible. And I also would like to say, as we have 13 people watching in the chat right now, thank you for stopping by. If you have not already, please hit that like button. We have a goal of at least double-digit likes, and please check the links down in the description down below.
I'd say you better subscribe or we'll bash in some skulls, right?
And I've just been informed. So far, we are stuck at 4 likes. Come on, you guys. We're likable. Drop a like. It's fine. Cost you nothing. I mean, some people are likable on this show. Yes, I can see possible either way. Again, there's other factors, twists and turns. We will get a better picture of what's going on next week, because we will know who's going to be in the finals. So we're just speculating right now at this point. But I could see a lot of things, and like I said, the men's picks were tough. It is tough to pick a definitive winner, because you can make a case for all of them to go. That's just my little thought there. Let me find this real quick. And
you're right.
We have another little tidbit here that I thought, as we had one last week, and I thought this was I thought this one might do interesting as well. Just a quick little one before we get into the staple of the show. Oh, and we have, again, Mr. Returning, Mr. Beak. Thank you, sir. Liking number 5. Good. We're halfway to double digits, folks. Be like Beak. Hit that like button. So here's something. As we talked last week, a compare and contrast. The question: who's done more for the women's division? Bayley or Becky Lynch? Brad, I'm going to start with you.
God, that's kind of tough. You know what? I'm going to go with Becky.
Okay.
And the reason is because of when she became the man.
Okay.
I think that moment really not only catapulted her, but catapulted the rest of the women's division, because that was a statement. She took a fist to the face. Was it a fist? Yeah, from Nia Jax, right?
Forearm.
Elbow. Yeah.
A back fist.
And
elbow. It was like a back fist.
And she stayed out there and fought. And it's like, okay, now someone's stepping up. It's like, okay, the women's division, they were gaining respect. But I really feel like for me, that was like, oh shit, they're actually out there fighting each other.
Right.
And when you get someone just take it to the face like that, walks out with the blood and like, I don't give an F. I'm here fighting. And it's like, okay, you know what? I got to take this woman seriously. And all the others looked at her and were like, you know what? We got to step up our game as well. So I think Becky was, just that one moment from her helped propel it. And then her attitude then also, I think, maybe gave more impetus to women to just, step up their game. Because Bailey's a good wrestler, but I never really got that. I'm just going to kind of say viral moment from her.
Okay. Matt, your thought.
Oh, Brad brought it up. I mean, yes, there were other things that going on. Like it happened in a sea of change, so to speak. But Becky Lynch accidentally becoming the man, because it was an accident, was a game changer for women's wrestling. Bailey's biggest contribution is when she heals her. But it wasn't anything on the level of Becky Lynch becoming the man, so.
Okay. Ego.
I got Becky Lynch. I don't think that if you reverse the roles that if Bailey breaks her nose, this goes over the same way. That's what I was thinking. Plus, that whole thing where she was doing this shit was too much like Lil Nicky. Release the good. So when I saw it, I'm like, you know what? I got Becky Lynch. Because I don't think that if you reverse this or put half as many female superstars in that same position of breaking the nose, that they come up with the man out of that. So I got Becky Lynch.
Okay, hang on just a second. We got Matt. You wanted to share something?
Yeah, I want to show us the way Liv landed. It's a still shot of the.
Okay, well, we'll come to that later.
Yeah, it's there just for that.
Okay, so here's my good take. We got a lot of contributions from both of these two. Yes, Becky Lynch is the man. This is part of the women's revolution when the four horsewomen came on the scene. We then had NXT takeover in Brooklyn, which is probably one of the best women's matches of all time, which was the Iron Man match between Bailey and Sasha Banks, now known as the Mercedes Moné. So that match also put women's wrestling on the map. Now, Becky Lynch has done a lot of work in putting other talent over, such as Elira Valkyria, Tiffany Stratton, Liv Morgan. Bailey, when she was doing her rehab down in NXT, she met these two gals named Dakota Kai and Io Shirai and told Paul Levesque, you need to bring these girls up, especially this gal Io. This is your next big thing here. So the group Damage Control was created to push Io Sky, who was arguably the best female wrestler walking the planet right now. And Eric has a comment here. Let's see what he has to say here. You're all going to hate me for saying this, but Bailey's always felt like the most irrelevant of the horsewomen. She's a massive star, yes, but the only one who never main event any of this is very true, and I have nothing against Bailey. I thought the match which was right before the main event of WrestleMania 40 between her and Io was arguably one of the best matches of that entire show. So, can I say who has done more? Maybe for star power, but Becky has. But I can't deny what the Bailey has done for the women's wrestling. That's just me. So it is, you know what? It's time. It is time. for the staple of this show, and that is I'm sorry, Matt. You want to share the
Yeah, just real fast. It's a still shot of Liv landing. You see how her elbows and forearms hit and her stomach and chest are off the floor? All that force gets driven up into her shoulders of the fall.
Yeah.
And what you really want to do is have your arms spread out, slap the ground, take the impact on your chest and stomach, and make sure your head's back so your face don't get smashed. Which she did right there with the face, but not with. You can see if you go back and watch, you'll see what I'm talking about. That's all.
Understood.
Okay. So it is time for the top 5 where we take a topic, give our 5 takes. Our number 5 take gets 1 point. Our number 1 take gets 5 points. So by the end, we have a definitive, scientific. We're at 8 likes, folks. We're at 8 likes, 2 more away from double digits. So it doesn't take much. Again, it's free. Liking is free. It costs you nothing to just hit that little thumbs up.
Do it.
Do it. It's fine. So we're going to start with Mr. LeftEyeEgo here. And our topic is top 5 women's wrestlers, current women's wrestlers of this year so far, up to 2025 so far. So, Ego.
Damn it, there goes Mae Young.
Not gonna lie. So I actually have Roxanne Perez number 5. I thought she did pretty well for having to be in the Elimination Chamber pretty much as a rookie. She's proved a valuable member of the Judgment Day for storyline purposes. I like her heelish, I steal wins even from my own team work. So, I mean, it's actually pretty well. She's pretty much justifying the fact that this is how she's on main roster, not just on main roster, but main roster on Raw with the Judgment Day. So I've got Roxanne Perez as my number 5.
Okay. Mr. Bradley Burnett, your number 5, please.
I'm going with someone who finally returned, Alexa Bliss.
Alexa Bliss, okay.
Constant performer. I mean, she's able to not only, wrestle, but she's able to be good on the mic, which sometimes we don't always have with a lot of women wrestlers. And of course, we still get that storyline. So I think she's teasing something with the Wyatt 6. We'll have to see. But I think
Charlotte.
And Charlotte, yeah.
And Charlotte.
Yeah, which honestly would probably help because I honestly get the feeling that Charlotte doesn't give a shit anymore.
My audio just died. I'm going to drop and come back. Give me a second.
Okay. So I guess we'll go with my 5 right now. And that is as of right now, this is the longest reigning of this year women's champion as she cashed in January 3rd. And it is Tiffany Stratton, the WWE Women's Undisputed Champion. And Matt of 1,000 Holes is here. So Tiffany is my number 5. Matt, your number 5.
Well, my numbers 3 through 10 kind of rotate based on what I've seen her do lately. But so number 5 right now is Timeless Toni Storm.
Okay.
She's had the best storyline.
Almost made my list. Almost made it. It was.
You know what I mean? Like that's such a between that like couple of spots. It's but she's one of the best storylines and the best protege storyline of the last couple of years as well. So I'll put her at number 5 right now.
All right, Mr. Ego, you're number 4.
Number 4, I've got Stephanie Vacure. I guess I get the hype about her. Why? How
is she that low?
You're going to be pissed
because I've got
me.
I've got the other ones on here.
Other ones
on here. I got other people on here. Okay, she actually had her number 3, and I had to bump her to 4. So I mean, I've got.
He's going to meet the devil's kiss.
Mic skills. What now? When I do it, I get bullied for when I had Jade Cargill. I said mic skills. So when I say mic skills for Roxanne Perez, for Stephanie Vacchier, I'm getting kicked
Jade
out.
Cargill also speaks English.
That's not the point.
English.
Irregardless.
Use a
By the way, you want right.
That's doing it, but that's still oddly self-serving. Okay, that's self-serving. Okay, I've got her.
Take away any mic drop you ever had for the use of the word irregardless.
I did that on purpose. I knew you would catch it, sir. That's why I said you're the only person. When I said it, you'd catch it. I've got her at 4. Okay, I've got her at 4.
Fine, you're wrong, but Brad, you're number 4.
And again, let me point out that all mine are really WWE wrestlers. And again, ones I've seen. So there's some that I really haven't seen or just now starting to see. So I'm going to go with Rhea Ripley at number 4.
Mm-hmm.
She's choice. Yeah, I mean, she's been carrying it a lot, even without a belt. I mean, she really has found a personality, which I think she was lacking for a lot of time. And now I don't even know that she needs a belt with where she's at right now. She's got the skill and she's got the presence, and
Matt, you're number 4.
The Queen of the Sky, Io Sky. You'll know you should.
I knew that was happening.
Anyone who's been listening for the past year and a half know who my top 2 are by now. So the question is whether Io is going to be number 3 or number 4. I mean, I love her. I've loved her for a long time. She's a great solid ring worker, meaning that she covers for other people's problems. She puts people over. That's a big wrestling skill. She protects herself from injury, that sort of stuff. So number 4, Io Sky.
My number 4 is the mentee to Tony Storm's mentor. One of the best storylines ever, and now she's a part of NXT. And instead of they gave her a little adversity. They double power slammed her through a table last night, and that is the newly packaged Blake Monroe, who apparently the idea was pitched, and possibly in the future, like Sydney Sweeney, Dr. Squatch will sell Blake Monroe bathwater bliss soap. Ego, you gooner, you're going to buy it too, aren't you?
Wait, what?
You're going to...
For product research purposes and customer reviews.
For product, okay? He's reviewing it for content.
Just for
Eagles are QA guy, Q&A, quality assurance.
Yeah, I'm for quality assurance. That's all I do, guys. Quality assurance. I make sure it's safe and healthy, because that's what I do here.
Ego,
what
for covering your gooning with PC terms?
You just made the list.
I was expecting a mic drop.
Look, I'm just glad he said Q&A and not TNA. I mean, come on, guys.
Oh, that's
QA.
All righty. So, Mr. LeftEyeEgo, we're at our number 3. You're number 3, sir.
3, I got Tiffany Stratton, man. Still holding the title, still holding everything down. Prettiest moonsault. What can you say? Ever. Fine. Tiffany Stratton, number 3.
Well, you don't love Vader's moonsaults? I made the list. Eagles list.
Brad, you're number 3.
My number 3, I'm going with Julia.
Julia? Oh, okay.
I've not seen a lot of some of the people coming from NXT, but I have been watching her matches, and she immediately made an impact coming into NXT, and how quickly she moved up. I mean, I think back in November, was she even part of NXT back in November?
Yeah.
So she had just joined,
mm-hmm.
And then you're like, well, she'll be in the main roster next year early, and she was, and it's like, look where she already is. I mean,
and she's going to have a belt soon.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time. But yeah, what happened to Ego? Did he pull out his?
Oh shit!
El Gato. No signal from El Gato.
Someone killed the cat.
Looks like.
He killed his-
All right, Matt. You're number 3, sir.
I have loved this wrestler since I first saw Booker T's reality wrestling promotion. Is Roxanne Perez. If it weren't for the presence of a couple others, she'd potentially be the all-time greatest female wrestler unless you've seen who my number 1 will be. She's the thing is, if she were just like 4 inches taller, she could be the perfect female wrestler.
5'5", you mean? Like so.
Yeah.
So if she was 5'5",
Enough to have a little more muscle on her body so she can do some heavier moves. She's been amazing in the ring. She's athletic. She knows how to put people over. She has a personality, which a lot of wrestlers don't nowadays. So number 3 is Roxanne Perez.
Okay. Matt, we're on the same page. I also at number 3 have Roxanne have Roxy, 2-time NXT, 2-time NXT the women's champ. Once as a face, once as a heel. She can play both. Pretty much by default now, she's going to be half of the women's tag team champions. So there's obviously going to be some trust put on these little shoulders, this 5'1" frame of hers. And let's also not forget the Iron Maiden of the Royal Rumble.
God.
Just under an hour and 8 minutes.
They should put Hart and Alexa Bliss on a tag team and call them Mighty Tiny.
That'd be awesome. I dig it.
And I just got word we're at 9 likes, folks. 1 like away from double digits. That has been our goal. That's always our goal, just to get this thing going, because maybe we can push this into the algorithm, get a lot more eyes watching. I see there's 10 of you watching right now. The one of you, just drop a like. It's fine. Okay. We've come to the top 2s now. Ego, you're number 2.
2 Genius of the Sky, Io Sky. I mean, they're gonna say she's always, which is weird. I don't see the champion so much as the underdog. Was when I see Io Sky was a champion. Every time she's counted out, she's gonna come up with some way to pull out the victory. She can get the crowd hyped when there's a dull moment by doing the insane move here before she goes, right here, before she goes completely insane and does a high flying move. So I've got her at number 2, Io the Sky. Okay,
Brad, you're number 2.
I got someone we won't see for a bit, unfortunately, and that's Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
Again, the fact that we spent so much talking about the impact of losing her for what she's done this year, or even this entire year, not even 2025, just shows you who she is and who she has grown as a wrestler.
Correct. All right, Matt, you're number 2.
Well, if you haven't known me for the past year and a half, you would know who I'm
Here we go. It's going to be Chelsea. It's going to give me.
Nope. She's down around 7 or 8.
Chelsea Green?
Yes, she's 7 or 8.
Number
Thunder Rosa, number 2.
Oh,
nice.
Thunder Rosa has been my favorite female wrestler until number 1 came along about a year and a half ago, since her Lucha Underground days. She's everything I want to see in a female wrestler. She's fiery. She ruffle stomp people. She has a variety of moves. She's safe in the ring. She can do multiple wrestling styles. I've loved her since I first saw her in Lucha Underground when she was Cobra Commander or whatever she was back then. All the weird names.
Cobra!
Yeah, good. So number 2, Thunder Rosa, who's wasted in freaking AEW. I hope this means her contract is up and she'll go WWE for a while.
My number 2. If you've been watching this show, you know that there are 2 female talents that I say are the best bell-to-bell talents the WWE has, which is now the best female roster in the biz. So my number 2 is the Dark Angel, La Primera, Stephanie Vaquer. Absolutely phenomenal in ring. I had the pleasure of seeing her live at NXT Stand and Deliver. and it was absolutely a wonderful. The way she moves, the way she transitions from move to move. I mean, we saw a brief taste of that with her and Asuka on the Monday night. Those two work well together. She and Io work well together. She and Julia work well together. This has been this is not a new up and comer. She's been doing this for 16 years since she was a kid. And we're at 10 likes, folks. Thank you. We're at double digits. We still have a little time. Maybe we can push it to 12. Maybe. Let's see. So my number 2, Stephanie Vaquer. All right, Ego, it's time for your number 1.
Man, my number 1 is coming hot off the press. Man, if you asked 3 or 4 months ago, perhaps. But number 1, I've got Blake Monroe. Man, I don't know what I can say. I have never seen a Marilyn Monroe type wrestler. To me, maybe y'all have seen. I have not. This is my first time seeing it. So there's someone that gives an air of I am better than you. I'm more cultured than you. I will out wrestle you, and I'm still brutal too. I can take the bumps. I can give out and dish out what I can take, and I'm better than you, and I'm more sophisticated than you. I got Blake Monroe right now at the top. I mean, if you put her on main roster right now and told me she was challenging Io or Tiffany Stratton, I'm like, give her the belt. That's just the way I am at this point with her. So I've got Blake Monroe number 1.
And thus he will be buying the Blake Monroe Bathwater Bliss soap for research purposes.
Quality assurance, guys. Okay, I am a doctor. I have to make sure these things are safe for the male.
That is so cute.
I'm doing this for every man's health. Every man's.
We just need to get him an FBI shirt, female body inspector. I mean,
with my lab coat, yes.
Brad, you're number 1.
Well, of course, it's Jade Cargill, because who doesn't want to see Queen Jade?
Right, of course.
Of course, it's Io Sky. I mean, well, we've already said, but I'm recalling something that we mentioned once before, where there was a botch in a match and she covered it. I know it, and she covered it clean. And even though we saw it as a botch, she still made it work. I don't remember what it was, but I know we talked about it.
It was Money in the Bank last year, where Lara was going to do a tornado DDT using the ropes as leverage, and her foot slipped, and Io just sandbagged.
I thought there was also something also this year. Maybe I was wrong.
She's done it a few times.
Yeah, I mean that just shows her skill, and not does she know how to handle herself, but she knows, like you say, how to take care of others, and to still don't make them look bad if they're going to look bad, which is really putting over your opponent when you don't need to put them over for a win. It's just like make certain they all look good. It is a cooperative sport entertainment show. So if one person looks bad, everyone's going to look bad. And she doesn't want anyone to look bad. She wants it to look good. And even though she doesn't, she can't speak English great, she is still connecting with the crowd, really connecting with the crowd.
Yep. Matt, you're number 1.
Well, my number 1, you should all know by now. Funny enough, was Thunder Rosa, who introduced me to her about 8-9 months, a year ago, somewhere around there. They're good friends in real life. It is the La Primera herself, Stephanie Vaquer, the future of. I mean, she's literally people call it the AJ Styles of women's wrestling. She's that well-rounded, that athletic, that capable. There are a couple others like Julia, Chelsea, Roxy, who have that athletic ability as well. But Stephanie puts it all together with a great gimmick. We won't see the gimmick in Saudi Arabia. I'm willing to bet we won't see the one. But but it's just she's the best, and currently.
Okay. My number 1 again. If you've been watching the show, I love my Joshis. I think they're wonderful. And right now, there's no better women's wrestler on the planet than the genius of the Sky, Io Sky. Absolutely the best, bell to bell, best female talent in WWE, arguably the best talent in WWE. And like Ego said, when the match is gonna kick into that next gear, all Io has to do is just this, and you don't know what's going, you don't know exactly what's going to happen, but you know it's going to be pretty fucking cool. It's going to be some cool shit to see. And that match to open WrestleMania Night 2 is still right now the best match of the year. I have watched that match like 6 times since then. So yeah, it's Io Sky. So it looks like, Brad, if I am correct, we have a tie for third, a clear number 2, and a clear number 1.
You're right. I missed that in the corner there. Yeah, we do have a tie for third.
Okay, so the tie for third is
I have Roxanne and Blake.
Roxanne Perez and Blake Monroe. Hey, Miss Steph, how are you? Please hit that like button. And yes, Io is amazing. You are absolutely correct. And number 2 is
Stephanie Vaquer.
La Primera, Stephanie Vaquer, who I'm sure the term La Primera, she will eventually be on the top of everyone's list. But right now, it belongs to
Somehow Jade Cargill got robbed by Io Sky.
Right.
Somehow.
Well, no.
Somehow Palpatine returned too.
Have you ever seen Jade Cargill and Io Sky on the stage at the same time? See, Io's going to rip up on her skin and to read Jade Cargill inside.
And she's going to grow a foot?
Yeah. Well, she has a compression skin on,
Okay.
WWE, it's the opposite they put on Elegante to make him look bigger.
Oh, God.
It's been working on that technology for a long time.
Oh, is that what that is? Excellent. Cool.
It's like TARDIS technology, bigger inside.
Yeah.
Stop it. Just stop it.
Alrighty. So next week we're because next week should probably close out the month of June, and that'll close out the halfway point of the 2025. So we will have the top male talent of 2025 thus far. But until that time, why can't Triple H let Io wrestle? He does. You don't always have your. Sometimes it's better for the champion to be seen on TV than having them wrestle all the time. That's
Exactly.
You want to keep them around. I will say that little thing. You disrespect Nikki Bella. She paved the way for all of us. Oh, that was so fucking cringe. I mean, Io, I know you're just being told to say it because you don't mean it at all. God. Oh. Ew. But that's a story for another time. Mr. Bad Takes, Mr. LeftEyeEgo. What do you have coming up, sir?
First of all, bad is just short for base, so I'll take it. Thank you. I'll be on with Roman tomorrow talking our best comic to movie renditions of movies. And also Sunday, I'll be going live with my wife Shiro at 6 p.m. Central on Sunday. Check it out, guys.
All right. Oh. Top 5 males are cool. Well, you can do that, and then just be sure to tune in next week, and we can compare notes. It should be fun.
Well done.
Mr. Duke Devil 95, Bradley Burnett. What do you have coming up, sir?
tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. I'll be on Static 2020's weekend pregame, and I believe it is the 100th episode. Somehow we've managed to stay around despite him showing us the cringiest of TikTok videos you've ever seen in your life. I'd sue him, except I go there voluntarily. So, I can't get it. But otherwise, I'll be back here next week. And as always on my channel, we have Wormhole Watch. We are watching Deep Space Nine from the beginning. This week, we were on the 4th episode, Invasive Procedures. Next week, we'll be on the 5th episode, and we will have a guest panelist.
Oh, that's right.
No, not that guest panelist. That's perhaps later. Later. This is. It's
Jade Cargill is just a guest panelist.
Maybe
because she apparently is a huge Star Trek fan. So we invited Aurora Monroe herself to join.
Gotcha. And the Man of 1,000 Holds, the unbearable 73. What do you have coming up, sir?
Well, tomorrow we're on Roman's show with our favorite superhero movie adaptations. Next week, obviously, we have this show next week. And this weekend, there should be a video dropping on the questionnaires where me and my buddy over there were talking about some woke stuff in video games, like the Stellar Blade remake and the controversies over how the woke brigade are complaining about it, so Japan gives no fucks.
Gotcha. And yes, myself, LeftEyeEgo, and Matt will be on with Roman of the Empire tomorrow, talking about our favorite comic book to live action adaptations, whether that be movies, TV, whatever. It's going to be a fun time. So definitely check that out. Also, my regular content, and stay tuned because also we do have Wednesday nights overbooked next week as well. We may be doing a live recap reaction to Night of Champions. So that may happen in the works as well. But until then, folks, we here at Wednesday Night is Overbooked wish you all a wonderful rest of your week. Keep talking, keep smiling, always have fun, and until next time,
Toodles!
Take care.
And here we go.
Is like gravity. All it takes is a little push.
Yeah.